Commander Replay. We're back with some more Kykar Spirit Tribal, and we'll be facing off against Maelstrom Memes, Meren, and Chandra Tribal. Do we have what it takes to survive the infinite burn of Chandra Tribal? Find out next on Commander Replay. I want to thank my awesome Patreon supporters. You guys are awesome. If you want to help support the channel and vote on which decks I play next, feel free to check out my Patreon at the link below. Welcome back, everyone. Playing some Kykar Winds Fury Spirit Tribal today. Take a look at this opening hand. We've got 3 lands, some ramp, land tax. Seems alright. We got card draw and Afara. I like that. We will keep. So, sadly, the video that I had planned to film in this spot was going to be a send-off to Iona, because usually there's a lag time between ban list announcements for Commander and when the changes actually get made on Magic Online. Unfortunately, they decided to do it all at the same time, so I can no longer play Iona on Magic Online. The plan was going to be to play Iona, ramp like crazy, put Helm of the Host on it, and try to achieve 5 Ionas, but sadly it is not to be. Makes me very sad that I'll never get to unlock that achievement, but I am very happy to be playing this Kykar deck. There's some fun spirit things we can do in this deck that should be lots of fun for us, so that's what we'll be focusing on today. So for those that don't know, Kykar is 1 blue-red-white for a 3/3 flying. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, create a 1/1 white spirit creature token with flying, you may sacrifice a spirit to add a red mana. This thing is really good. Having the ability to both create the creatures and sacrifice them for mana is really, really powerful. There's a lot of different ways to build this deck. It's like a really open type of commander where you can choose so many different directions to go. And it makes it really, really interesting. We're playing Spirit Tribal today. Probably going to be one of the weaker builds that you can potentially do with this deck. But still, in my last outing, was just a lot of fun to play. So made a couple small tweaks to the deck. We'll grab this Tundra right here, and then we'll play the land tax. And we'll pass like that. Soul Ring for the Chandra opponent. Sounds good. A turn 1 Altar of the Brood for the Meren opponent, by the way. That seems not amazing. I don't know that we have great answers for Meren in this deck. I told opponents that this would be like mid-power to decently strong, and they showed up with Meren and Maelstrom Wanderer, which, you know, those are pretty strong decks. I don't necessarily feel like we're super adequately evolved to handle those decks with this particular build. I'd feel much better if I had a Rule of Law and a Rest in Peace, but sadly we do not. There's going to be a Nature's Lore for the Meren, so we're probably going to be seeing Meren next turn, which is not amazing. Let's bring it back to our turn. Land tax will trigger. Not going to go too wild. We don't have tons and tons of basics in the deck, so we'll just grab a couple things. Oh, we draw a land per turn. I hate you, land tax. Oh, man. When you land tax, especially early, your likelihood of drawing a land for the turn is so unbelievably high. It's got to be at least 75%. You guys have probably heard me talk about this. There has to be a shuffle problem after a land tax. It occurs way too commonly. Anyway, play the Sulphur Falls, and a lot of times you draw the non-basic lands out of your deck after the land tax comes down. So that's super, super frustrating. So anyway, we drop a land, play the Supreme Phantom. Ooh. Here comes a Neheb Dreadhorde champion. I've messed with this just a little bit in my Aurelia deck, and it's pretty good. It's pretty good. It does a lot of stuff. Yep, here comes Meren. We're all going to mill one. Unfortunately, we lost our Guiding Spirit, which is one of the things that pulls spirits out of our graveyard. Oh, we lost our Remorseful Cleric to the Altar of Brood also, which is one of the ways we could shut down at Meren. We do have Karmic Guide still, which can get some of this stuff back. We'll land tax again. I'm actually not going to grab anything, and I'm just going to shuffle. Okay, we draw Empyrean Eagle. Can pump up our spirits a little bit more. I'm going to play the Bloodstained Mire, crack the Bloodstained Mire. Okay, we'll get the Volcanic Island. We'll cast this Empyrean Eagle, and that'll pump up our spirits. I think we're going to do a little bit of attacking into the Meren opponent. So one thing, especially when you see a mono-red opponent like this, you don't want to go crazy necessarily with land tax, especially when you don't have that many basics in the deck, because if they play a Wheel of Fortune and we had all of our basics in our hand, there's a chance that we wheel them all away, and that would be real bad. There's a Mana Geyser coming down for the Chandra opponent, so they've got 10 red mana. That seems pretty good. They're going to play a Chandra Acolyte of Flame and a Chandra Flamecaller. Unfortunately, Flamecaller able to wipe all of our creatures if they want to. Nope. Okay. Ooh, yeah. Seems bad. Seems bad. Do they attack with the Neheb first? They might. They might. Neheb going to swing into the Meren. I have mixed feelings about losing both of our creatures versus blowing up the Meren, Keeping Meren out of play is obviously very important, but at the same time, I don't want to be losing all of our stuff either. I forgot to put... I made a couple small changes to the deck. I forgot to put Hall of Heliod's Generosity in the deck. That seems very helpful with all the milling that's going on. There's a decent number of enchantments in the deck, so having a way to get those back is pretty helpful. Let's see what opponent wants to do with that Chandra. I mean, I assume that they're just wiping the board, but... Yep, board has been wiped, so down our spirits go. Sad of face. We don't have any mass reanimation in the deck. That might be an issue. One thing to talk about, too, is that, like... This deck is interesting in that it's a tribal deck, but you don't actually need to run that many creatures of the tribe, because whenever you cast a non-creature spell, you create a spirit, so you can actually run tons and tons of like tribal support cards, but not the actual creatures themselves, and still get the tribal benefits. A card that seems really good in this deck is Heirloom Blade, because of the lower creature count. You don't have to really run any like filler spirits, you can just run all ones that have like impactful abilities to you, and that seems really good. Viscera Seer coming down for the Meren opponent. That'll bring it back to our turn. The land tax will trigger. We'll grab 1 on the land tax. Prefer to draw not a land. We draw a land, of course. It's a non-basic, like I said. Play Scalding Tarn. Crack Scalding Tarn. Let's get Hollowed Fountain. Untapped. Then just cast our commander. Next turn on the plan will probably be something like Thran Dynamo and or Afara. Probably Afara first if we can only cast 1, because we really want to get that card draw going. We do draw the Mistveil Plains, which could be helpful to get some of the stuff back into our deck that we need. Opponent's going to cycle with their Chandra. Sure. Puts a bunch of stuff into the graveyard. Discarded a Valakut. It's probably good news. Gonna put more loyalty on their Planeswalkers. Yup. Here comes a Contagion Clasp. They don't put that on us. They put it on us, of course. So now we're back in range of the Chandra Flamecaller. Awesome. Opponent's going to proliferate. Yep. Kykar down to 1. Oh, man. The Planeswalkers are going up. This is bad. This is all really bad. So our commander's down to 1 toughness again, and I'm sure they're going to blow that up with Chandra. Oh, no, they already wheeled with Chandra. So our commander, I think, is going to stick for a turn. And Maelstrom Wanderer just dropping lands and passing. They do have an Urza's Tower, so possibly trying to assemble Tron. There's a Worldly Tutor for the Meren. Sure, this will be bad. It's a Bane of Progress. That's only going to hit it'll hit the land tax and Altar of the Brood. We'll stop the Contagion Clasp. Well, it gets rid of the Soul Ring. That should slow opponent down a little bit. Yeah, okay. So we're going to lose our land tax, but we have 5 lands in hand anyway, so as long as a wheel doesn't happen, we are good for our next 5 turns at least on the mana stuff. And I don't even know if this game's going to go that long, so yeah, I guess that seems fine. More importantly, we didn't lose our Thran Dynamo in that whole exchange, which does make me happy because we will be needing that. Opponent going to send their Viscera Seer into the Chandra. It goes down to 2 loyalty. That'll bring it back to our turn. We draw yet another land. Cool. Play the Mistveil Plains. Play Afara. Sunforger is now in our graveyard. Not amazing. We'll attack into the Flamecaller. Opponent can still plus it to 2, but, you know. So Chandra Flamecaller down to 1. And we need a draw spell so incredibly badly. Mobilize District. Haven't seen this one. Pay 4. It becomes a 3/3 citizen with Vigilance. It's still a land. This ability costs 1 less to activate for each legendary creature and planeswalker you control. Interesting. There's a Maze of Ith. Yep. Opponent's going to put loyalty counters on their planeswalkers. Yep. Minus the Chandra. Here comes Chandra Fire of Kaladesh. Maelstrom Wanderer just going to continue to play lands, tap out, and pass. It's the no-ramp Maelstrom Wanderer deck. Mosswart Bridge for the Meren. Yep. Here comes Meren back to play. Yep. Opponent going to send their Bane of Progress into the Flamecaller. And they'll just use the Maze of Ith. The Viscera Seer did die this turn, so Meren gets an experience counter. Brings it back to our turn. There's a Drogskull Cavalry. Ooh, that's interesting. We're sadly 1 short of that, but that activated ability would be really good with Afara. So I think we're just on recasting our commander this turn. And this should at least get us 1 additional card draw, which will be really, really nice since we've drawn almost entirely lands up to this point. And we draw a Volcanic Offering. It's very nice. That may come in handy at some point, especially if we need to get rid of this Westvale Abbey and or this Maze of Ith. Karn's Bastion proliferates. Might also be a target worth getting rid of. Opponent's going to make 2 3/1 tokens with their Chandra. Going to put loyalty counters on their planeswalkers, sure. Going to proliferate with the Karn's Bastion. Yep. Flamecaller suddenly back up to 4 loyalty. Opponent sending 1 token our way. Sending 2 tokens our way, that just seems uncalled for. With a Maelstrom Wanderer and a Meren at the table. One's going to crack in Evolving Wilds. Here comes a Kiki-Jiki Mirror Breaker. Oh, that seems like a problem. Why would a Wanderer deck be running a Kiki-Jiki? Pestermite, probably? So we are most definitely going to have to sit on this Volcanic Offering. I'm really conflicted about whether we should try and take down this Flamecaller or not, because getting Meren out of play is a good idea, getting this Kiki-Jiki out of play is a good idea, but us not being able to have anything in play is a real problem. It's a really conflicted place to be. Here comes Viscera Seer back to play. Yep. It gives opponent 10 power. They can flip over the Mosswarp Bridge if they want to. Opponent going to swing really hard into the Chandra Flamecaller. Opponent can chump block one and Maze of Ith the other if they want to. Yeah, that's what they're going to do. Opponent's going to activate their Mosswarp Bridge. It's a Nim Death Mantle. That seems like an issue. Opponent's going to start sacrificing things. Here comes a Signet. And opponent's going to get that Viscera Seer back to play. Seems bad. I don't love it, but leaving Flamecaller in play is probably the right thing to do. That's a Feast and Famine. That's a cool one, right? Okay, so let's play a land. Play Sword of Feast and Famine. We get a Spirit. Equip the Sword of Feast and Famine. Attack into the Meren. We hit with the Sword of Feast and Famine. Forgot to use the Mistveil Plains like I had planned to do. Oops. Opponent discards a land. Opponent goes down to 27, 5 Commander. Play the Thran Dynamo. And we're going to leave that Thran Dynamo up for the Volcanic Offering, which I think may become relevant. I probably could have sent the 1 token into Flamecaller, and that would have kept it off of our Commander. We'll get to draw with the Fara. Ugh, another land. Gross. Opponent's going to continue to plus up the Chandras. Yep. Ooh, opponent's going to cycle and not wipe the board. Interesting. Alright, so we'll have some stuff when we get back to our turn. That's exciting. Opponent's going to Blasphemous Act. Opponent's going to sacrifice a bunch of stuff into the Meren. Yeah, I guess we just let this go. I was hoping to... We're going to have to sit on Volcanic Offering either way. Ooh, Nim Death Mantle seems like it might be good in this deck. You know, all these spirits running around that we can just sacrifice for mana. Opponent brings back their Meren. Yep, they do have 3 experience counters now. Opponent's going to cycle a Starstorm. Okay. There's one you don't see enough of. We'll let our red mana go. See what happens on this Maelstrom Wanderer's turn. We're suspecting that their deck is entirely lands and the Kiki-Jiki Pestermite combo. Ooh, Scavenger Grounds, that would be not the best news. Well, good against Meren, bad against our deck. Okay, here comes Maelstrom Wanderer. First Cascade into a Zealous Conscripts. Opponent's going to steal the Flamecaller, which is probably going to be a good thing at this point. And that is one of the cool modes on Zealous Conscripts, is you get to steal Planeswalkers. I stole an Ugin before and got to ultimate it. It was rather fun. And let's see what the second Cascade is. Nothing? Is there nothing? They have no other legal targets in the deck. The rest of their deck is entirely lands. Okay, so it's a meme deck. Meme deck has been relatively defeated. Opponent's going to create 2 elementals, sure. See where they decide to point everything. Wanderer into Meren, Zealous Conscripts into the Chandra player, and the tokens into the Chandra player. Nothing into the Acolyte of Flame, interestingly. Also nothing into us, so not inclined to do much right here. Tough decisions right here. Do we let opponent untap with a Meren and a Nim Deathmantle? Meren will be on 8 if they have to recast it, which they have enough for. They don't have any cards in hand, though. They have 3 experience counters. Yeah, I think we keep waiting. We'll see what they do on their turn. We could potentially do it like before the end, although I guess if they have mana open, then they can just Nim Deathmantle Meren back to play. Opponent's going to play a Grey Merchant of Asphodel. Do they have a way to sacrifice it? Doesn't look like it. Yeah, I guess that resolves. So everyone's going to lose 3 life. Opponent gains a little bit of life. Opponent going to swing into the Flamecaller. Okay, this will probably just get mazed. Yep, it gets mazed. Damage is prevented. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe we don't Volcanic Offering yet. Opponent's going to get a creature back, though, and they can sacrifice something else. I think we just wait. Going to get back their Viscera Seer. Ugh, I don't love that one. Maybe now we do it. Yeah, let's do it now. No, then they just pay 4 and get Meren back anyway? Ugh, yeah, the Nim Deathmantle is a bit of an issue. Also not super excited to lay anything down into this Chandra Flamecaller. Yeah, maybe we just wait another turn cycle, see what happens. Viscera Seer is back. There's a promise of Bunrai. Whenever a creature we control dies, sacrifice it. If we do, create 4 colorless spirit tokens. So let's play the Mystic Gate. I mean, Flamecaller's most definitely going to wipe the board. Yeah, I think we're just taking this turn off. Doesn't feel great, but, you know, I think that's what we're doing. Here comes Chandra, Bold Pyromancer. Can do 2 damage to target player, can do 3 damage to target creature or planeswalker, and can do 10 damage to target player and each creature they control. Okay. Gonna add 2 red and do 2 damage to a player. That'll be the Meren player. Excellent. Opponent's gonna put a loyalty counter on each of their planeswalkers. Chandra Tribal. I think I've talked about it before. I ran into a kid playing Chandra Tribal back before they changed the planeswalker rule, and you could only have 1 at a time. And his deck must have gotten significantly better after that rule was changed. It really wasn't and it really wasn't bad for the time either. He was able to protect his planeswalkers, had a lot of direct damage with all the Chandras, and yep, there's Flamecaller X6, so that's going to blow up a lot of stuff. Glad we didn't play anything into that. Death Mantle will trigger a bunch of times. Grey Merchant and Viscera Seer will go down. I believe Meren's going to get a bunch of counters on it, which is not ideal. Opponent's going to pay 4 to get their Meren back. Yep. Opponent's up to 5 experience counters. That's a bit of an issue. Flamecaller is down to 1, which is good, but opponent's got a lot of burn stacked up. They can ultimate the Bold Pyromancer on their next turn. Opponent plays a Spawning Bed. So I told opponent he could crack Scavenger Grounds if he wants to. And he's going to go ahead and do that. So with that on the stack, we are going to start blowing some stuff up. We're going to cast Volcanic Offering. We are going to blow up the Westvale Abbey. We'll choose Firemaker. They can destroy a land. Probably going to be the Maze of Ith. We're going to choose the Meren as the creature we don't control. And we'll choose the same opponent once again. So Meren into the graveyard. It's going to get exiled. Westvale Abbey also down. Opponent saying rude on all accounts. I mean, it's a Meren deck. What is it, like tier 2, tier 3 competitive? Something like that. It's pretty strong. Much less strong when you exile the graveyard, though. So we lose a bunch of cool stuff out of our graveyard, sadly. We did not get the Mistveil Plains off before all of that resolved. The one chance we had to do it, I failed to do so. You need to watch out. This opponent can ultimate this Chandra, and ugh, man, yeah, it seems not great. Hour of Revelation is probably the card we want to see. I did put a Magmaquake in the deck, actually, right at the last second, so Magmaquake is also a card we want to see. And the Maze of Ith did go down, by the way, so it should actually be possible to theoretically start swinging into some of these Planeswalkers now. So opponent going to recast their Meren. Yep. They now have Volrath Stronghold in play, although graveyards were exiled, so that's good news. Here's a Simian Spirit Guide. Perhaps not the most helpful thing in this moment in time. Let's play land. Start with our commander. We could cast the Promise, or we can equip the sword. Theoretically, I guess we could do both. So when I cast the Promise, Kykar's ability will trigger. We'll get the Spirit. Because of the way opponent could theoretically shoot down all of our stuff, so I'm actually going to sacrifice the Spirit before it comes into play. So the Promise is in, and we'll equip the sword to Kykar, and we will pass like that. We'll get to draw off of the Afara. We draw a Signet. Opponent's going to wheel with the Chandra. Yep. Discards a land and a Neheb. Here comes a Chandra Awakened Inferno. Can't be countered. Well, might speed the game up a little. Each opponent gets an emblem with, at the beginning of your upkeep, this emblem deals 1 damage to you, and then -3 deals 3 damage to each non-elemental creature, or X damage to target creature or planeswalker. If it's dealt damage that way, exile it. Opponent's gonna plus all the Chandras. Oh, the Chandra battle. Opponent gives an emblem to the... It says each opponent. Oh, yep. Oh, yeah, we all get one. Opponent blows up our commander. I didn't see with what ability exactly, but it is gone. Oh, we're at 16? Oh, they used the ultimate on Chandra Bold Pyromaster. Gross. But it does look like Meren will be able to get an attack into opponent, so they could theoretically take down one of these planeswalkers. So, Chandra Emblem continuing to trigger. Here comes a Reclamation Sage. This can't be good. Feast and Famine down. Opponent can blow up all of our artifacts. That's not great. Rift off the top would be helpful. Opponent going to try and take down the Flamecaller right here. Yeah, that's probably a good idea. Oh, Mobilize Citizen. Opponent's going to actually activate that for a freeze. Bring it back to our turn. We're going to lose another life. We're on kind of a short clock here. We draw a Strip Mine. Meh. Play the Strip Mine. Play Kykar. Play the Signet. That'll get us a token. That'll get us a draw on our next step. Afara will trigger. Come on, Cyclonic Rift. Another land. Oh my. So many lands. Opponent's going to put loyalty on all their planeswalkers. Yep. Opponent's going to proliferate. Yep. Opponent's going to make more emblems for everyone, so that's going to be 2 damage a turn. Means that we're going to have to get busy with this Drogskull Cavalry really soon. Opponent's going to do 2 damage to us. Okay, yep. Life getting low. Something took down the mobilized district. I didn't see what. Oh, that's a Winds of Change. Losing Drogskull is gonna be bad. Well, we could exile the Simian for extra mana, but I don't think it's worth it. We draw some things that may actually be helpful, so that's really good news. Sunforger's gone. I don't know what we're getting with the Steel Shapers. Enlightened Tutor should be really good, though. Probably Kindred Discovery is where we need to be. Or potentially like a Shared Animosity, depending on what we have left when it comes back to our turn. Flamecaller is going to go X3. And I think we should be good to untap with our 4 Promise of Bunray tokens. Sadly, doesn't kill the Meren. Though I guess they could just Nim Death Mantle it back, so don't know that that's doing a lot. So Promise is going to get sacrificed. Opponent's going to bring back the Reclamation Sage. See where they point it. Probably at one of our things. Yep, gonna be at a Thran Dynamo. Might strip mine them next turn, or just kill them, we'll see. Opponent's gonna activate their Spawning Bed and get some Eldrazi Scions. They sacrifice it. Ooh, we still have Heirloom Blade in the deck. That'll be a really good one. Opponent's gonna destroy target non-basic land on the Karn's Bastion. Okay, down for that. They have 3/1/1 Scions, which can actually kill some of these Planeswalkers. This seems really good. The Flamecaller is within range. We're going to draw off the Afara, which also seems good. Ooh, that's a Kega the Tidestar. That's a good way to deal with a Meren. With Thran Dynamo gone, it's going to be hard to recast our commander, though. One thing we do need to watch out for, we're going to have to win the game quickly because of how low our life total is. So I want to go on some attacks. Looks like the Flamecaller is going to go down and tick down the Awakened Inferno just a little bit. More Chandra Emblems trigger. Opponent plays a land. Rexage into the Bald Pyromancer. Meren into the Awakened Inferno. It's going to be tough to get rid of the 15 loyalty on that one, but we should be able to take down the Awakened Inferno, I think. So, Bold Pyromancer down. Enlightened Tutor. We'll have to filter through the Signet. Choices are Perforos doesn't seem the best right here. Kindred Discovery seems very reasonable. Heirloom Blade, we have Steel Shaper's Gift in hand, so we don't need that one. Dictate is okay. Coat of Arms, Cathar's Crusade are interesting. Bident of Thassa is interesting. Anointed Procession is okay. Really, I'm probably... Shared Animosity is gone, so it's probably going to have to be Coat of Arms, which is sadly a bit more mana intense than some of the other ones. But yeah, I think it's got to be Coat of Arms. Brings us back to our turn. 2 more life loss for us. There's the Coat of Arms. If we played Intangible Virtue, that would bring that down to 4. Opponent could still do 3 damage to everything, which wouldn't be the best. Let's play the Island. How much mana do we have? We have 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 would be enough to go 5 for that, 5 for Steel Shapers into Heirloom Blade, and yeah, Intangible Virtue. Think that's it. So double count. Yeah, I think that should be good. Play Steel Shaper's Gift. Get Heirloom Blade. Play Intangible Virtue. Ooh, that's actually enough right there to take down. This one I'm not so worried about. What's an opponent's graveyard? They could go Winds of Change. Might be annoying. How much is our commander? 12. Ooh, yeah, we don't have 12. So definitely not going for our commander. So I guess we're just back on the Heirloom Blade plan. Coat of Arms. We have 20 damage. 23 with the sword. Go to combat. Take down the Awakened Inferno. And send the rest at Meren. Boom, Meren down to 9. Awakened Inferno down. And pass the turn like that. There's a chain reaction, so that'll blow up all the creatures. Unfortunately, this Rexage will probably come back and blow up our Coat of Arms. But we will get the trigger with the Heirloom Blade. Heirloom Blade will trigger. We'll use the ability. We get Dungeon Geists. Helpful. Rexage coming back. Yep, it's going to hit something important of ours. Here goes our Coat of Arms, of course. Coat of Arms down. Flame Acolyte's going to make 2 elemental creatures. See who they go after. Going after Meren. Opponent blocks 1, goes down to 8. They are on a 4-turn clock. Unfortunately, they can send the Rex Sage into us if they want to, and that's not the best. That'll be a significant chunk of our life total. Ooh, opponent's going to Diabolic Tutor. This is bad. This is bad. I don't know what they get right here, but I'm sure it's bad. Runescar Demon, maybe. Let's see what opponent tutored for. Ooh, not playing anything? Something instant speed, maybe? Yep, going to send that our way. That is a significant portion of our life total right now. Need to find that Drog Skull Cavalry again. Disciple of Bolas. Okay, yeah, that's a good one. Life gain and card draw. Ooh, and an Ashnod's Altar. Gross. Brings back to our turn. We're going to lose 2 more life. Yep. Life is very low. There's a Rapid Hybridization that could be useful. Play the Dungeon Geists. We're going to tap down the Disciple of Bolas. It will not untap. Oh, opponent's 1 step away from going infinite. It's not good. Let's play our Kykar. Unfortunately, we can't leave up Strip Mine and the blue mana all at once, so put the Heirloom Blade on the opponent. Probably doesn't want to kill our Kykar, so put it on the Dungeon Geists and pass like that. Oh, we forgot the Sacred Foundry. Well, hope that doesn't come back to haunt us. It's been a long game. It's been a really long game. A Far will trigger. Here's a Clifftop Retreat. Not at all helpful. Opponent's going to play Amizium Mortars. Our Kykar will survive. Our Dungeon Geist will not, which means we get to look for another spirit, which is good. Heirloom Blade will trigger. There's Karmic Guide. Karmic Guide is okay. Nim Death Mantle triggers. Opponent doesn't have the mana. Unfortunately, we used the Strip Mine already. Opponent's going to make 2 tokens with the Chandra. Yep. Opponent's going to send both tokens our way. That's super annoying. Really? Do we block? I think we block and shoot 1. And we block with Kykar. Kykar dies. And we gain control of the Frog Lizard. That's cool, right? Now we've got a 4/4. That didn't go as badly as I expected. Drog Skull's got to show up really soon or we're in trouble. There's a Colony Garden for the Maelstrom opponent. Oh, well, I guess we don't need it now, but we did Heirloom Blade past the Cyclonic Rift. Here comes Meren back to play. Meren's going to get back a Rex Sage. Yep, we're going to lose even more stuff. Goes after the Intangible Virtue. Brings it back to our turn. We lose more life. Down to 3. There's Ryusei. It's not the worst thing I've seen. Yeah, so I guess Karmic Guide. At some point, we're going to need our commander here. If we can sacrifice enough spirits into our commander, that's a thing. Next turn, we're going to go to 1, but we also need... Yeah, we're just going to need creatures in play, too. So, get Karmic Guide. So, Karmic Guide comes in. Let's get Kykar. Equip the Heirloom Blade on Karmic Guide. Play Sacred Foundry tapped. Play Ryusei. Guess we can attack into opponent's face right here. Start working on them. A Far will trigger. Distant Melody is a card. If we can, like, actually untap with creatures, we would potentially be in line to draw 2 to 3 cards. Opponent could just, like, flashback their chain reaction, though, and that would be not great. Here comes Chandra, Fire of Kaladesh. Okay. Opponent's going to cast a Winds of Change. We're going to lose the Distant Melody. Also, sort of counteracts the looting that we've done with, or the cycling, I guess, with Heirloom Blade. Here's a Boros Charm. Could be helpful. Life gain is the thing we really need, though. Or some way to do enough damage to kill all of our opponents, which I believe all of those are gone now. Mishra's Factory. Opponent animates Mishra's Factory, going to swing into the Chandra opponent. Opponent goes down to 22. Awakened Inferno triggers on the Meren. They're down to 6. Sadly, too short of the Boros Charm. Oh, that's a Falconwrath Noble. We're probably going to die now. Opponent's going to swing into the Maelstrom Wanderer. Yep. Oh, opponent's going to block with the plant token. That's bad for us. Actually, this will kill us. This will kill us. Falconwrath will trigger. Yep, and we're going to die on our upkeep. Let's just see what we draw. See if it was going to be the one. Opponent gets another Falconwrath trigger. It's a Windborn Muse. Was not the one. Fire this off at the Meren. They go down to 7, and we die 2 emblems. So the conundrum in that game is that if we take down the Flamecaller very early in the game, then we just die to Meren. And I don't know. I don't know if there's a better way to handle that. Opponent going to do some attacking into the Maelstrom Wanderer. Yep. Tokens die. Falconwrath triggers. Wanderer down to 17. Opponent going to recast their Maelstrom Wanderer. No spells left in their deck. All lands. Start the swinging. Ooh, Maelstrom going to go into the Chandras. Chandra opponent. So Meren probably in all likelihood going to win this game, which makes me super sad because Meren has won too many games of Commander over its tenure. Yep, opponent going to start second stuff, gaining life, Falcon Wrath nobling. Opponent gains some life back, does some stuff, messes with the Nim Death Mantle, gets hit by the 2 triggers, and is back to 10. Oh, opponent's got a Skull Clamp in the mix. Yep. So, Meren doing Meren things, drawing cards, gaining life. There's a Plague Crafter. So, this game. This was one of the most salt-inducing games of recent memory. There are very few commanders that get under my skin the way that Meren does. It's just so frustrating that, like, the Chandra opponent in this game was literally board wipe tribal, and that is not enough to keep Meren's stuff out of play. You know, and it was also super frustrating because we couldn't keep anything in play. We basically did nothing after, like, I don't know, turn 5 or something. So it was just a long, frustrating game, and yeah, we had a chance to take down the Flame Caller, which may have helped, but then I'm pretty sure we just died to Meren, and that's how strong it is. I was pretty bent out of shape at Firemaker for bringing Meren. I'm playing Spirit Tribal, and I get that Kykar is decent, but Meren is just so unbelievably strong, even if you bring a watered-down version of it. Like, you know, the fact that he's running Nim Deathmantle and Viscera Seer means it's like, it's this effect that is unbelievably hard to stop. Minus graveyard removal, and we did exile their graveyard one time, and it's still not enough. Again, because as a black deck, you have the ability to just draw a tutor late in the game, and life is good. So, yeah, just super frustrating game. I was very salty at Firemaker. I did eventually apologize to him afterwards. But the other thing that was super frustrating too is that, like, we had answers to the Chandra problem, we just couldn't draw any of them. We have Cyclonic Rift, there's a Magma Quake in the deck. If Boros Charm had showed up earlier, that would have been super helpful. We could have dodged a board wipe. If Strip Mine had showed up earlier, we could have gotten rid of the Maze of Ith and then actually have Meren start beating up on some of the Planeswalkers. Just so many things that we could have drawn that we didn't. All of which led us to doing mostly nothing that game, so just very, very frustrating. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed the video. As always, feel free to comment, like, or subscribe. Thank you for watching.